Let's see what BTG can do about this. They let the map pick over to SPT, who go for Warhead Junction. I'm pretty sure they don't have a 100% win rate on this because they've lost, I think, to RPG here.
I'm not 100% sure myself either, but I do remember something that SPT played in Season 1 on Warhead Junction Tetcher, and you know what I'm talking about.
Yes, I think I do. Gaslow? Was this the Gaslow
that one too? That one too?
No, wait, that was on Infernal. Yeah.
Okay, that was Infernal, but I'm talking about the Fury variant.
Oh, that was on this map.
That was on Warhead Junction. I remember it like it was yesterday.
Infernal.
Nope.
Do you? Because if so, please remind me which map it was, because I was asked about it yesterday and I sent them the wrong game link.
No, I'm 99.99% sure it was on Warhead Junction, because when I see a Fury variant, I don't forget about it.
Yeah, I was leaning towards Infernal, but if you can remember the game, send it to me later so I can send it on to the person who asked. For now, though, it's kind of unlikely that we will see it again, but there's always a possibility that we could see it from SPT, especially if they could find the right situation to bring it out. They could even see a Colossus Smash once again.
Yeah.
For now, Ariel banned out, once again removing a little bit of potential for that double support comp, and Tacitar's been left open, so BTG will likely first pick this.
I mean, if you compare the first season of HGC China to the current one, I mean, there have been a lot of things that changed. China has grown and aged well, I should say. They've become mature.
I will say, there is something that is Genji first pick. Nice. So Tacitar left over to SPT. That's interesting. So, but there is something about this season that actually leans more towards Varian returning, and that's just how popular Tacitar is. Take shield murdering! Murder shields!
And not just that, I mean, Shattering Throw is a massive boon, don't get me wrong, but for the most part, it is Varian just being so strong as a tank with constantly resetting his overpower heroic strikes by simply just parrying Tacitar Tickle Beams all the time. It's so powerful, and then you take talents like... I saw that yesterday when I played Hero League. Like, you can take the Banner of Dalaran and even empower your own heroic strike damage even further. It is so powerful against those quick attack animations like the Tracer, for example, like the Tacitar Tickle Beam Tychus. So I do agree with you, not just because I'm a Lions fanboy by heart, but Varian really has a place in the current meta. It just needs to be used a little bit more.
Yeah, I'm very interested to see how him and other shield destruction heroes will shape the next meta, seeing as the patch, I think, happens tonight/yesterday, depending on what region you're in. And by the time we next get China, I believe they will be playing on it, so that's going to be cool.
Yeah, next week we might get to experience a couple of freshly reworked heroes like the Chromie, the Lieutenant Morales, the Leoric, and most importantly, the Jaina. I can't wait to see what kind of an impact the new rework could have. Of course, gaining Ice Block earlier or gaining access to it by level 10, by level 13, depending on how well the game goes, could be such a huge difference. And the Dreadlord might be back.
New, more micro-intensive Chromie. I am super down for this. That should be fantastic to watch, especially if China continues to use her with such a... Is verdantness? Is that the word? I don't know. Who cares? As we now see SPT waiting for the next pick. But yeah, here's the thing. What are some of the heroes that China have been using a lot recently? We see Chromie. We see Leoric. Morales, much more than other regions, Leoric. All of these heroes are getting changed. So here's the question. What is going to happen to the Chinese meta? How is it going to be effective? And of course, the introduction of Kel'Thuzad, but that's going to have likely a 2-week buffer period. So we won't see that straight away.
Can you imagine the hype teacher being able to watch Kel'Thuzad in the competitive play at BlizzCon? I'm looking forward to that so much because he's such a high skill cap hero as well. You really need to land your skills. You really need to have a lot of game sense and experience in order to chain those combos when it's needed. And I think where else are we going to find this kind of play other than in HGC?
I am super curious to see if we will see the return of one specific hero to combo with Kel'Thuzad. Zeratul, hang on, I'll talk about that later.
Okay.
As we see Zeratul and ET's Zeratul, Greymane, Genji on the same composition with the combined Holy Cow. I once again reiterate the last words of that sentence, Holy Cow.
There's so much stuff that could be going on here for BTG. This is 100% hardcore aggression made in China. Like, you look at this lineup and you'll be like, okay, ETC could go for Moshpit, could also go for Stage Dive. Either way, it's going to be great lockdown. Either way, he could get protected by an Uther Divine Shield. Then we have Genji, Divine Shield, Dragon Blade. Anyone? Sure, let's take it. We have Zeratul, could go for the VP, setting it all up. And of course, the Greymane as well, just taking a few bites of the juicy members from SPT. I love BTG's draft, but SPT, they need a couple of more defensive options right now. They still can get the Vala. Is she going to be safe enough, though?
I look at this draft and I think that RPG have finally snapped. That's what this draft looks like to me from BTG. But we're going to see a Tracer coming in from SPT. Double tank, double support, and Tracer. Now, Tracer and Zeratul is, for starters, one of the most, fun matchups to watch in the game, just due to the high micro potential of the two heroes. Add Genji into that, we're going to see everyone dancing around. To finish the sentence I was saying before, Sergeant Hammer has a talent called Barricade, which would, of course, be affected by the Chains of Kel'Thuzad. Meaning that you can basically set up ganks with the two of them, or just in team fights with the two of them, you can make sure you almost always get the pull.
Yeah, and then you throw in a juicy BFG into the chains and the roots and the slows. Oh, yes, baby.
You've got huge range poke potential. Like, imagine this on Battlefield. For starters, you probably don't need Barricade because Battlefield has walls for days. But yeah, should be good. And if not, then just take the hyper-cooling engines on Sergeant Hammer, rush around behind enemies, knock them forward, and get Kel'Thuzad to push them together. You get huge fight control.
I mean, Sergeant Hammer was in the Kel'Thuzad trailer for a reason. I mean, they were on the opposing teams, but...
Yeah, exactly. They were thinking it through. They knew. I'm still waiting for Melee Sergeant Hammer from the trailer.
Oh, yeah.
But now, though, ladies and gentlemen, we are loading into game number 2 between SPT and BTG. Let's do this, Kendrick. We are on the Warhead Junction, and on the left, our current Chinese champions, SPT, Zhenjiao on Tracer, Melisi on Tassadar, Misaka on Muradin, Soap on Dahaka, and ZZH on Karazim.
And currently being down 0-1, we have a BTG team in the red trunks with A on the Genji, 619 on ETC, Fish on Greymane, MJ on Uther, and ZJZ on a very exotic pick these days if you're not watching RPG on the Zeratul. And now, I wanted to immediately take a look at Tracer's level 1 talent because there would have been an option for Tracer rounds revealing stealth heroes like a Zeratul, but no, she went for the normal Pulse Strike, charging up her heroic ability a little bit quicker.
Okay, so Kendrick, this is something I've seen a couple of questions about, and we're going to pick your knowledge, being the far better player than me, for this one. What is with that ETC level 1 talent? Why not Prog Rock? Why not Block Party? Why not any of those where when Prog Rock gives you potentially more healing? What is the logic for Guitar Hero?
So, first of all, you need to take a look at the battleground, and it being Warhead Junction probably won't allow you to pick up a lot of region globes in the first place. And even if you were to clear, let's say, mercenary camps all the time, you're doing bosses for additional globes, and even take up nukes for additional globes, it probably wouldn't be enough because you cannot rotate between lanes all the time to really get the wizard minion all the time. So that is a very first reason to keep in mind. Furthermore, I think that Prog Rock, probably would not gain that much value in the current roster. Look at the highly mobile heroes. Zeratul, he's going to blink in all the way. Genji, swiftly slicing and dicing his way in and out. So even if there were a couple of heroes standing next to ETC, he probably would never get a lot of value because there would only be 1 or 2 heroes in his vicinity at max.
Alright, so it is purely just the fact that he's probably not going to heal his allies.
Exactly.
Do you think that a Guitar Hero with 50%, for those who don't know, while it is active, ETC also, alongside the normal guitar solo healing, heals for 50% of his basic attack damage. Do you think that that is more than he would get from Prog Rock, which each globe increases it by 5?
I think so, because we're going to probably have longer team fights with Tracer not being able to instantly blow someone up. So throughout the team fight, if he gets a couple of charges of the Guitar Hero in, I think it's going to be a lot more valuable. Definitely like it. It also makes sure that, you know, Uther doesn't have to take care of him all the time, right? Uther really wants to prioritize other heroes. Well, Tracer just said goodbye, and Fish might do the same.
He tried to juke, but there's too many heroes here.
Yeah.
MJ has
Genji coming in now.
He's looking for Melody C. Melody C is shielded. Tassadar getting pressured. This Zeratul so far putting a lot of pressure. Getting into the backline. Oh, what leg? Gets the kill, but no reset. Can he get out? No, he can't. Oh. Yes, he can. No, he can't. Yes, he can. A is out. MJ's in trouble, though. MJ gets out too, dodges the Storm Bolt. Muradin survives too. It's a cluster at the start of the game.
MJ dancing his way out of that pinch here. Beautifully done by BTG, and already they're starting to turn up the heat a little bit more compared to game 1. Now Genji deflecting everything that Tracer has to offer. Also getting a heal by Uther. MJ, I don't think he's going to get out alive this time around, or is he? No. He's going to fall this time. But yeah, back to the ETC point. I really think that a lot comes down to the support choice they made and the amount of high priority targets they have in their roster. Uther does not want to take care of ETC all the time. He wants to heal the Greymane, the Zeratul, and of course the Genji, mostly.
That is all very fair testaments. Speaking of taking care of themselves, we actually have Greymane going for a non-cocktail build. Going for viciousness, and I believe that one's Eyes in the Dark as the level 4 talent.
Correct. Yeah, really cool to see. I think if you want to deliver a lot of single target damage with your Worgen form, and especially if you want to be more mobile, then I think going for this more team fight, auto attack oriented build rather than poking from afar gives you a lot more value. So I definitely agree with the choice here. Also makes you a little bit more resilient, hard to catch, so I like it. Oh, wow.
Zeratul barely surviving there. He doesn't have any stacks. No, this is an old Zeratul where the idea was literally just, I'm going to take Gathering Power and just rewind it, just wormhole in and out every couple seconds. That was a fun time. And we see it done from MJ. They're getting pressured. This mid lane will probably fall, actually, with 4 heroes here, and a backup nuke in case they're forced away.
And one Oracle not only revealing the Eyes in the Dark Greymane, but also the Zeratul, who was just very handily just coming around. And another nuke being dropped here in the middle. Very interesting to see that SPT...
Oh. Get it. Get it. Kill it. There we go.
There we go. But it's so interesting to see, Tetra, that SPT is willing to waste, quote-unquote, waste 2 nukes, 2 warheads in the middle, which is normally the least valuable of all lanes of Warhead Junction, due to the fact that there are 2 bosses on bottom and top, respectively.
Very true. I guess the potential idea here is XP is cool as Zhen Zhao comes in, gets stunned by ATC, bomb is dropped, good body box, but the face melt gets 619 out.
Here we go, very nicely done. He patiently waited until all the opponents had used their mobility spells before he knocked them away, because otherwise if he had used it earlier, then Muradin could have leaped back in, Tracer could have used more dashes, and then ETC would have probably fallen. So oftentimes it's really crucial to hold on to your knockback until you counted all the important abilities from the chasing heroes.
Yeah, ETC, by the way, has gone for Echo Pedal. This basically does allow him to also, this build with the Guitar Hero, allows him to actually solo lane pretty efficiently because he gets constant lane sustain. It's not much burst damage or burst healing as you would get from Hammer-On, but it's still healing. It's like you miss out on healing, but you get extra damage in Mosh Pit and stuff like that.
It also tells us one important thing, Tetra. If you go for Echo Pedal, the chances of ETC going for Stage Dive highly increase here, because you can then play ETC almost like a Dehaka, you know, have strong wave clear, go for those side lanes and push them through only to arrive here in the nick of time. And that's exactly what ETC needs to be doing here if he plays against a Dehaka, who normally has way better wave clear, who normally has greater mobility, so that ETC can be seen as a counter global to the Dehaka pressure.
If that's what they go for, which right now is reasonably likely. There's 2 interrupts in the
But then again, it's China, so they might as well just go Mosh Pit.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, there's 2 interrupts, and they're not the best ones.
Yeah.
Jesus. Zeratul is having a rough time. Also, Karasim didn't even go for the revealing totem here. He went for the block totem as well. So here we go. Heroics hitting first for SPT. BTG are getting there, but they're not there yet. MJ is always very far forward, I have noticed this game. Yeah. It's going to be Divine Palm, Archon, Avatar, the Singularity Bomb, I can't remember the name of it, and Adaptation.
Very nice body blocking here as well by 619, providing enough protection and blocking here for Fish to get out of harm's way, while also securing the warhead at the same time. But still, speaking of nukes and warheads, Tetra, it hasn't really been going so well in that regard for BTG. 3-1 now, 2-1 because one had been used in favor of SPT once again, and they're taking down fort after fort, securing themselves quite a considerable XP lead.
Yes, they are. So, heroics are being taken by BTG, Divine Shields, go for the throat, Void Prism, Dragon Blade, and question mark. With the Uther taking the Divine Shield, there is potential for the Mosh Pit. Holy cow. And trying to drop a nuke. He was completely surrounded. If he'd taken stage dive, he could have maybe used it to escape, but not going for it. Instead, he gets killed, loses the nuke. Now bot lane getting pressured. That's the last remaining fort actually available for BTG. If they come down, they're going to be fighting in a 4v4 due to Muradin currently being in the mid lane, but Muradin can rotate. Fish moving in a little bit early, immediately moves on to pressure. Barely see Genji in the backline. Void Prism is dropped. Separating. There's the stage dive on the Void Prism. It's good as they focus down Karazim. No palm available just to the CC. Fish focuses down Tracer as well, and they get removed. So powerful was able to drop the nuke. Fish nearly getting caught inside it and dying. And now it is just Soap really on his own. Misaka has abandoned him. You're on your own, friend.
Go for the
down goes Soap.
Yeah, now they need to go for the boss. They really need to use that numbers advantage to get at least something done in return. But they're so low. Uther out of mana as well. They can't sustain it through, especially now with a full HP Misaka disturbing.
One dwarf wrecking crew coming in, disrupting the plans, and he forces them away from the boss. They move back to the easy-to-take camp. Misaka's not done.
He's not letting go.
He's gonna contest the camp. 2v1. Greymane's gonna not die, but he's gonna be pressured. Here comes ETC, and that will guarantee them the camp, and they won't be able to kill him. Actually, maybe not. Here comes Dahaka. ZZH dashes in as well.
Misaka!
Drags him back in. 619 could stay on the point. Nukes drop. Burrow prevents the damage. They're still fighting. A runs in, gets to deflect, but gets killed off by the Dark Swarm. ZJZ dancing in and out, but I'm not sure why Genji went back in. They should have just ditched the camp and left at that point.
It's only a single siege camp, Tetra. It's not a boss, it's not a keep, it's not a core, but China doesn't care. They brawl like there was no tomorrow, like their lives were dependent on this mercenary camp. Such a cool move for us viewers and casters, but a highly questionable move here on the side of BTG. But what a boss move by Misaka here, holding his own, waiting for reinforcements. What a play.
Throwing his weight around very aggressively, just holding that front line. It's just like, I will defend this camp as if it is the boss. And he was able to held the line. There was so much scuffling over that. The numbers advantage were so in favor of BTG, but the rotation speed was so quick from SPT to be able to join in time.
Oh, ETC taking so much damage. Is he going to die? The power slide ready.
Karazim, Zeratil's pressuring. Palm, Patience, ZJZ looks for it. Genji as well. Down he goes to that bomb from Zeratil. Now ETC can grab the point. Dragon Blade kind of unnecessarily used, but using it for a bit of wave clear in this case.
Exactly. I mean, we've seen Lightning Breath being used for wave clear, but SPT is not done.
They're looking for another fight. 619 trying to escape with the nuke, and the Void Prism is dropped as a disengage tool here at BTG. They leave this fight area after forcing out the Archon.
That was a beautiful disengaging VP. However, you now need to keep in mind that it's on a long cooldown. So this might be the chance for SPT to make something happen. Once again, they're posturing up extremely aggressively. They already have the bottom camp from the left-hand side pushing. Now they're going to have two. And are they going to use this momentum to really get something done here? One nuke available as well. Misaka jumping in, not landing the stun though.
Yeah, he's looking for potential. They're looking to potentially threaten this lower area. It's these stuns out Soap. Not able to get it. There's still 29 seconds for adaptation that was also used in the fight, and Archon is still 65 seconds away. A lot of heroics have been used, but obviously we mentioned Dragon Blade was used way earlier, and Void Prism was having to be used as a disengage. So right now, ETC not really making the most of his global soak, unfortunately, thanks to that stage dive.
Yep, Misaka doesn't care. He knows very well that the opponents are lurking in that bush. He just tries to scout it out. And, I mean, Muradin is only so easy to kill. Well, not easy at all. The agile dismount coming in from A on the Genji as well. Dropping a little bit of poke. Also using the Holy Shock here from Uther to make Muradin feel... What?
Don't even need to. Wow, that burst. Well done.
I think Melody just didn't expect that much damage. Otherwise, there's no explanation for a player of his caliber to not use the dimensional shift here. Maybe he also noticed...
Might have used it earlier.
Yeah, that could be the boss, Tetra. That could be the boss.
Well, they're going to try. They have a man advantage. VP's about to come up again. Both teams have nukes, so I expect both will actually be dropped here.
SPT can't take this fight
over this. SPT, they're going to try. Here's the nuke. Muradin on the point. Gets knocked off by HGC. Get absolutely destroyed, Misaka. VP is dropped. Muradin is isolated. Dahaka comes in for reinforcements, though. Stage dive on the VP. Good damage onto Tracer, who's able to recall back and put pressure onto MJ, who will fall here. No, MJ's still alive. Finally, Muradin puts the focus onto him. Palm is procced, meaning ZZH is still here to heal his team up. So far, it's 2 for 0 in favor of SPT. They completely clear it up. BTG completely splitting. They're gonna lose the nuke as well.
How do they lose this team fight, Tetra? In a 5 versus 4 with all heroic abilities landing very well in the beginning. The VP was good. The stage dive follow was beautiful. The Dragon Blade was available as well. But I think a couple of moves here, as you said, they split up too much, cost them to lose this team fight dearly. Also, the Vine Shield on the wrong target. Why would you use it on ETC? He was full HP. I think the Greymane or the Zeratul or the Genji would have needed it instead because they were all dropping low. And despite getting the boss, Tetra, I don't think that was worth it at all.
Bot lane was nuked. It does survive, though. Misaka will once again be forced back, but that's going to be 4 nukes, potentially, in the possession of SPT as they begin to retreat. They still have 2 members without nukes, and guess what? There's 2 lovely, delicious nukes sitting in the bot lane for them to pick up. As we see, MJ is, again, really, really far forward, getting in the Karazim here. In comes A, dashing to his teammates over the wall, keeping safe.
Nukes. 3 nukes available for SPT right now, and I'm not sure if BTG can actually pick up the next one. They don't have 16, and SPT is posturing up here, Tetra. They're trying to make this work.
Oh, once again, it's Uther who's Divine Shield. That's not even going to get him out. That does nothing for him.
MJ, you don't want to waste that long cooldown if you can't make sure to survive, and there was no way for you to get out of there. I think there was some heavy miscommunication going on. Maybe MJ thought that his allies were willing to help him out and willing to teamfight because 16 had just hit, but it looks like the rest of the team was just like, no, Uther, we're gonna see you next time, buddy. Good luck. And without the Divine Shield, there's not gonna be that much Dragon Blade value, and 3 nukes still available for SPT.
That's the second one used on that bot keep, and that bot keep is almost certain to fall now. They've got 3 backup nukes. They've got a camp to tank here. They're going to use the nuke. That's unnecessary. That is a mistake.
Very unnecessary. And now with only 2 nukes left, I don't think they can even finish the game. I think they're going to wait for at least 3 or 4 nukes in their possession. Maybe they're going to also try to go for the top boss first to cause a little bit of a distraction, only to rotate bottom then and finish the game. 619 needs to be very careful now. If he gets licked, never mind. He makes it out alive.
He is actually split pushing, though, which is a change from how he's normally been playing. Stage dive's available, so right now this 4-man rotation that BTG are doing is how they have been playing the last couple of minutes. It's kind of worked for him, other than losing the big team fights. The ZJZ moving into the bottom lane with the rest of his teams. They're able to steal the SPT siege camp here, as the Bruiser camp is being taken by SPT up at the top. ETC has retreated all the way to his base because he doesn't want to die.
He doesn't want to die. He has no vision on the map currently. He doesn't know where the enemy heroes are. So playing it super safe is definitely the way to go. Just carefully checking if SPT is currently doing the top boss. Just wants to hold the position for now. And now we're going to have a pretty cool back and forth here. Never mind, CJZ getting initiated on and dropping to 10% health.
Big chunk of damage dropped onto him. He pulls back. Now we see a big rotation from SPT. They're looking for ETC here. No. Stage dive may have to be used defensively here. Stun 1. Power slide. Stun 2. Storm bolt. Drag misses. Divine Shield's dropped. And he's near enough to his team that he doesn't have to stage dive out. Camp is accidentally aggroed, or on purpose aggroed, who knows. As 619 retreats, good knockback, and that should be enough to disengage.
Heavy impact!
He gets deleted! Heavy impact, wiping him here. Genji in trouble, dropping the deflect, able to make his way to the wall to get him out of danger. But again, another fight won by SPT in slightly less exciting fashion this time.
Tanking the
deflect. I will bounce the nuke back to the sky. Not working out in their favor this time. But this keeps under pressure. There's still a nuke available and 2 camps here. That's going to be the keep down.
That's probably one of the safest keep calls I have ever seen in HGC China. Everything's going in the SPT's favor right now. 619 is about to fall, no more Divine Shield, and BTG realizes we're gonna lose this game here most likely. We had to make at least something happen, but unfortunately for them, they played so well. Only one major misplay in the bottom boss area caused them to lose track and grasp of the game. Now A is going to be the next target to fall. Just a swag palm here, a swag VP as well, not really accomplishing a whole lot. And Tetra, that is it?
That is in fact it. That is GG. And SPT take the 2-0 and move up to the top of the table.
SPT basically not disappointing their fans here at all. The reigning China champions here, telling the newcomers how it's done and how to play the game. Still a decent performance by BTG in the second game. The first one we're just going to forget about, but some cool team fights, some nice moves here, especially with a Wombo Schmombo. I do give a little bit of credit to BTG still, but look at those guys. SPT impressed me. I gotta tell you, Tetra, they impressed me so much after their weak performance yesterday against RPG.
Yep, this looked like the SPT that we know and love. They are absolutely showing up again. And here's the question. At this point, you have to start to wonder whether RPG are just the kryptonite for the top teams.